What would happen if a global war broke out? One unlike anything the world has ever seen. Most countries would be drawn into conflict, cities would suffer, and millions could be displaced. But not everywhere would face the same risks. Geography, history, and politics make some nations better positioned to stay safe, stable, or even neutral in the chaos of war. In this episode of Earthspective, we'll explore 10 countries that experts believe would stand the best chance if World War III ever erupted. Let's begin. Switzerland. Neutrality is more than a policy in Switzerland. It's a way of life. For centuries, the Swiss have avoided major wars, and they've prepared meticulously to keep it that way. Nearly every town has civil defense shelters, enough to house almost the entire population if needed. Its mountainous terrain makes invasion incredibly difficult, while its position in Central Europe has always been balanced by strict neutrality agreements. Even during World War II, Switzerland avoided direct conflict. In a future global war, Switzerland's mix of geography, preparedness, and political stance would likely make it one of the safest havens in the world. New Zealand. Far from major world powers, New Zealand is one of the most geographically isolated nations on Earth. This remoteness is exactly what makes it so appealing as a safe haven. With fertile farmland and strong agricultural exports, New Zealand could sustain itself even if global trade collapsed. Its political stability, small population, and lack of major strategic targets further reduce its risk. In many doomsday prepper studies, New Zealand consistently ranks near the top as one of the best places to ride out global catastrophe. In the case of World War III, isolation might just be its greatest strength. Iceland. Iceland sits in the North Atlantic, far from the world's traditional hotspots. Its isolation means few reasons for direct attack, while its abundant geothermal energy ensures energy independence. With only about 370,000 residents, Iceland's population could be supported by its natural resources, fisheries, and renewable power. Though technically part of NATO, Iceland lacks a standing army, reducing its role as a direct military target. If global war engulfed Europe, Iceland's distance, renewables, and self-sufficiency would give it a strong chance of surviving largely untouched compared to its neighbors. Bhutan. Nestled high in the Himalayas, Bhutan is one of the world's most secluded nations. Its geography alone makes large-scale conflict unlikely. Steep mountains form a natural shield against outside forces. Bhutan has remained politically neutral and deliberately avoided entanglement in global alliances. Its philosophy of gross national happiness reflects a nation more focused on sustainability than power struggles. While not as resource-rich as larger countries, its remoteness, small population, and defensive terrain would help it avoid becoming a battleground in a global war. Bhutan's best protection may simply be staying out of sight. Finland. At first glance, Finland may seem risky given its proximity to Russia, but Finland is one of the most prepared nations on Earth for crisis scenarios. The country has vast networks of underground shelters, including beneath Helsinki, where entire communities could take refuge. Its culture of resilience, strong local food systems, and national defense readiness make Finland uniquely positioned to withstand war-related shocks. Unlike neutral states, Finland balances preparedness with alliances. While it could face pressure, its ability to protect and shelter its citizens makes it one of the safest, most resilient countries in a global conflict. Canada. Canada is the world's second largest country by landmass, with abundant resources, fresh water, and arable land. Its vast northern territories are sparsely populated and unlikely to be targeted directly. While Canada is part of NATO, its geography, distant from Eurasia's traditional conflict zones, provides a buffer. Its natural wealth could sustain its population even in times of global crisis. Though not immune to fallout from a world war, Canada's combination of space, resources, and distance from major powers make it one of the safest large countries on Earth. Ireland. Ireland has long maintained a stance of military neutrality, and it remains outside of NATO. Its island geography offers natural defense, and unlike Britain, Ireland has little incentive to become involved in great power conflicts. Politically stable and economically resilient, Ireland would likely be spared from becoming a primary target in global war scenarios. Its neutrality, location on Europe's fringe, and lack of major strategic assets make it a potential haven in the chaos of global conflict. Australia. Vast, resource-rich, and geographically distant from most of the world's major flashpoints, Australia is well positioned to weather global conflict. Its agriculture, mining industries, and energy resources give it a high degree of self-sufficiency. While it has strong alliances, including with the United States, its isolation in the southern hemisphere provides a natural shield. With huge open spaces and relatively few urban centers, Australia could withstand many of the disruptions that would devastate more densely populated nations. If global war ever erupted, Australia's greatest asset would be its distance. Chile. Chile's geography makes it uniquely resilient in times of global conflict. With the towering Andes Mountains to the east and the vast Pacific Ocean to the west, it is naturally shielded from many outside threats. The country is politically stable compared to many of its neighbors, and it has abundant natural resources, from fertile valleys to mineral wealth. Chile also produces much of its own food and energy, giving it a degree of self-sufficiency. Its distance from major world powers, combined with geographic barriers, would make Chile one of the safest places to live if World War III ever broke out. Botswana. Often called one of Africa's most stable democracies, Botswana stands out as a potential safe haven even in times of global conflict. It is landlocked but shielded by geography, with the vast Kalahari Desert covering much of its territory, a natural barrier against large-scale invasions. Unlike many of its neighbors, Botswana has avoided major political turmoil, maintaining steady governance and relative peace since independence. With rich diamond reserves, a growing economy, and one of the lowest population densities in the world, Botswana could sustain itself while staying out of direct global conflict. Its stability and isolation make it a surprising but strong contender for safety during a world war. No country is truly safe in a world war. Modern conflict can stretch across continents, and the impacts, from food shortages to refugee crises, would touch every corner of the globe. But geography, history, and politics still matter. Neutral nations like Switzerland and Ireland, remote islands like New Zealand and Iceland, and vast, resource-rich lands like Canada, Australia, and Chile all stand out as safer than most. Bhutan and Finland remind us that resilience can take many forms, whether through isolation, or meticulous preparation. And in Africa, Botswana shows how stability, geography, and good governance can also offer protection in uncertain times. The lesson? Even in an uncertain world, the choices countries make today, how they prepare, how they govern, and how they connect, will shape their survival tomorrow. Thanks for watching Earthspective. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more explorations of the places shaping our future.